Hey, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to Life Mastery Decoded for women and women entrepreneurs, where I help you decode the struggles in your life in the areas of health, wealth, and relationships with mind mastery and meditation tools and techniques so that you can live the life that you're proud of. Welcome to today's podcast. Hey ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's podcast where I hope to find you curious. Don't you love that? I love the word curious. And if you are not feeling curious, then it is my intention that today I offer some nugget of inspiration towards your transformation towards curiosity. What I want to do today in this podcast, and I think I'm going to start doing this like maybe 10 episodes or something, is I have a Zen deck of cards. And there's 50 cards. That should probably get me through the whole year. And I'm going to shuffle them, and I'm going to randomly pick one. I'm going to read the word that's on one side, and then there's a little like a passage or a quote on the back side. And I'm just going to read it, and I'm going to go off the cuff, because typically as I'm going throughout my day, there's usually a highlight in my day of something that's going on. And then I can transfer that into that evening's podcast when I record it. So I thought I would do something a little bit spontaneous. And I love being spontaneous, but as I always joke with Amy, I always say I love planned spontaneity. So it might be like, I'm feeling a little adventurous and a little curious, but I'm also just going to be in the space of just allowing whatever is to come. And I'm just going to share if I have a story about it, or if I have some knowledge about it, or maybe I don't have anything. Maybe I'll be filling it up with questions for you. So, all right, I'm shuffling the deck. These are very beautiful cards. They're called Zen cards, and it's just a little box. There's 50 cards in the deck, and they're very beautifully designed, and they're square. Anyway, if you ever get your hands on them. Okay, so this is the one I am pulling. Ooh, okay. This one is Harmony. Beautiful card. And on the back side, it says, restore harmony. Create peace in all situations rather than pushing the river. Flow with it. Oh, this is a good one. This is a real good one. And I'm going to take the lead on this one, and then I will ask you some like homework questions or some thought inspiring questions for your meditative state later in the day. Okay, so harmony. Well, I love this particular because I used to use, and I think even in these past podcasts, you have heard me say, like swimming upstream. It's harder to go upstream than it is to go downstream. And if we use the terminology of swimming upstream as it relates to our resistance, our emotional energy, is if you are, let's say, going to work. Let's say you're getting up in the morning, you're going to work. If you get up and you are pushing against the resistance of how you are feeling, that's the same as like getting in the river and walking upstream. I'm sure everybody listening has done that before. You get in the river, and the easiest thing to do is to go downstream. Right? We go kayaking, we go tubing. Even if you've ever gone snorkeling, if you like to snorkel, snorkeling downriver or down in the river is really fun, especially if it's a really clear river. Anyway, but it's easier to get in and go with the flow. So what I would suggest, and what I think this card is meaning, is the harmony of things is kind of being in alignment with the way things are. But it's also about perspective. So if you're going to work in the morning and you're really not wanting to go, you're pushing against. So is there a way for you to get in the mindset of wherever it is that you have to go to, that you don't want to go? Can you get in the mindset of being grateful for something or looking forward to something, making the flow that much easier? I know that's probably not nearly as fun and inspiring, but I do love that analogy about like getting in the flow of things, because I love analogies for one, but it really explains things, because you can really tell how you're feeling if you're in harmony with what is. Are you in harmony with what is your current bank account? How about your current love life? or your current career choice. You know, inside in your body, this is why we have emotions, because they let us know what is going on. How is our thinking? Are we in harmony with what is going on around us in the world? You know, your body tells you if you're in harmony with things. You know, and you understand, you know, if something is going on and you're like, I really don't want to do this, and you push against it. That is you. It's the same as you kinking the hose. I really want to water the garden today, but I'm going to kink the hose and I'm going to complain about how there's no water. So that is kind of my definition. Now, my thought to that is, if you are pushing against it, what do you do? What if you were to, going forward right now, if you're recognizing that you're pushing against something that's happening, what if you were to think of the word harmony? Or if you feel that resistance, what if you were to think of yourself swimming upstream? Would that help you? Would that assist you in go with the flow? It's okay. You know, I have to say that to myself often because I get a little bit uppity when things change because I have a high power need and I like things to be like how I want them to be. And when they're not the way I want them to be, then I tend to be kind of bratty. So I have to say to myself, when I recognize that I'm pushing against something, it's okay. You know, I get a flat tire on my new car, driving down the road, and you have the little information sensor on the dashboard, and all of a sudden the light comes on and says tire pressure low, and then it starts to blink which tire it is, and it was my back passenger tire, and it's reading 29 pounds. You know, it's the PSI, right? It's supposed to be between like 30, 31 or something and 36 or something like that. 29, 25, 23, 19. I'm like, are you joking? And I'm going and I can feel it starting to get squishy. And it's like 15, 10, 9. It was like a countdown. And I'm like, man. But what did I do? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's not raining. I'm not alone. I have a spare. I have money to call a tow truck if I need one, right? And so I had to tell myself that it's okay. Sometimes I get caught off guard by things and I can get kind of upset about stuff when things really turn, right? But I think a flat tire, now if I was in a big fat hurry and I was late for something, then yes, of course. But because I have practiced this enough, most of the time, well, depends on who you ask. Even though I've been with me for my whole life, right? I'm 48 years old right now as I'm recording this, and I have been with myself forever. And I used to fly off the handle for hours and days and weeks, and I would just keep being upset about whatever the thing is. So I have cleared enough energy and now I start to throw out the pixie dust in front of me, right? So I do more of that than I do reacting to my environment. So what I end up saying is, it's okay. It's okay. Nope, it's okay. You know, we're supposed to have spaghetti tonight for dinner, and Amy wants tacos, and she goes, okay, well, I made stuff for tacos. I'm like, it's okay, right? Now in my mind, I'd be like, I really, you know, my whole mom's side of the family is all Sicilian. I grew up on spaghetti. I freaking love spaghetti. And then Amy loves Mexican food, so we always like, when are we ever having Italian, you know? So we have a lot of Mexican food in the house. I have learned to like it. But I think that if you can find your empowering word, then I think that you would be able to find that harmony within the thing that you're pushing against, because it's only us. Something comes up and says, okay, I really wanted spaghetti tonight. I had my mind set on spaghetti, but I could either push against or I can allow. Does that make sense? And I think that that's really what harmony means. I'm going to read the quote again, or the little passage on the back. It says, restore harmony. Create peace in all situations. Rather than pushing the river, flow with it. So beautiful. I really love it. I really love that. So my questions to you are, what areas of your life are you finding that you are resisting? Finances, your relationships, your career, your love life. Where are you pushing against? And then my next question, once you've established that, is going to be, what words or phrase can you use that helps you to remind yourself to go with the flow? Like, what could you say? Like mine, I said is, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You know, sometimes Amy is just like, really? Are you sure? Because we could have spaghetti. I'm like, no, it's fine. It's okay. Now she just has to trust me. That's a completely different podcast. Not saying she doesn't trust me, but you have to trust. It's okay. Like, I'm trying to go with the flow. Don't put a stopper on my end, right? Like, let me go through this. Like, I have to grow through these stages. And this is my practice. This is what I want to do. I want to become more in harmony with the energy of the universe. I want to feel what it feels like to be in the flow. And again, if you do get upset often, if you do get angry often, or you just get like turned upside down, then about all things all the time. And I was there, I used to do that, find those 1 or 2 or 3 words that remind you it's okay. Just go with the flow. It's okay. Now, I know that some bigger, heavier things, it's going to be really hard to do that, but let's start small. So like someone cuts you off in traffic. It's okay. It's okay. We have no idea why he cut you off in traffic. His wife could have just had a heart attack and she's in the hospital alone. His daughter could be having a baby. He could be having a dog in the back seat of his car having babies. Or he could just be a jerk on the road. Either way, it's okay. It's okay, right? So those are my 2 questions for you. What area are you finding that you're having resistance? And then what 1 or 2 words or a key phrase can you use that just allows you to and reminds you to go with the flow? Thanks for listening, and if you liked this episode, please take the time to like and share. Also, please visit me on my other social media pages. I'm on Instagram, Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. I'm on Facebook, where we have this community titled Life Mastery Decoded, and it's a community of women and women entrepreneurs where we come together to support one another in sharing our successes and struggles. You can also check out my YouTube channel, where I share my teachings and my personal journey, and it's simply titled Jen Mack, Jenmac. Have a great day, and I hope to hear from you.